All right, y'all. I am back. I went on a walk last night and decided to record some of my thoughts and put it up as a podcast because, y'all, life has gotten to me. And I have been so focused on creating other content for you that I have not had the time to do the podcasts, which is fine. But I was like, I'm out here walking. Yes, the quality might not be studio quality, but at least I am putting together my thoughts for you guys so you get that weekly bite of weight loss, advice, motivation, like all the things. And lately, this is so interesting. I've been doing the podcast for over a year. And lately, I've had like 5 people from the podcast want to join the program, which it's not that other people in the program aren't listeners, but I don't think I've had that many people come solely like from listening to the podcast and then decide they want to work with me. It's really, really interesting. And that's with me not having put up a podcast in like 2 months. We got real sick over the holidays for like a month. The baby was like sick. I was sick because I am pregnant, but also I was just actually sick. My husband was sick. And then I was way behind on everything else and podcasting just fell to the wayside. So here I am on another walk recording another podcast for you guys. Again, this isn't going to be my usual quality. A, I'm outside walking, huffing and puffing, 4 months pregnant. B, I don't have notes. I usually put at least an hour into prepping every episode and really thinking through what I'm going to deliver for you guys. And these are kind of like my thoughts as I'm out here walking. I had a couple this morning, so I think I'm going to do more than one episode. So you guys get to hear me huffing and puffing, the geese out here chirping, the water fountain going, all the noises as I walk around. So I woke up this morning and I saw this post from Dr. Mark Hyman about the food industry and how their sales are being cut into because people are taking Ozempic and it is cutting down on their cravings, and so they're not buying as much junk food, which as a weight loss nutritionist person in the weight loss space, I'm like, hell yeah. But the statement was really about the fact that the food industry is now specifically focusing on engineering food that will still be craveable even if you're on Ozempic. I don't know how they're going to do that exactly. I'm not sure exactly like where the what this engineering is gonna look like, but I am interested to see. But yeah, I was laughing because I was like, of course they are. Of course they're not like, oh, maybe we should, invest in some healthy alternatives or trying to make people healthy. Nope, we're just gonna find other ways to be on their mind, even if they're trying to do something good for themselves. But this got me thinking. So I have worked with a lot of people actually who have done Ozempic or semaglutide, or what's the other one? It starts with an M. They all three do the same thing. And they really help to cut cravings for junk food, which is You guys, the reason that I got into what I'm doing now is cravings. That was my struggle. I could eat healthy all day. I knew all the healthy things. Like, duh, I did. I know all the diets. I know all the things. I know how to lose weight. But when I was experiencing really intense emotions of stress and, whatever else I was going through at that time in my life, which this time specifically I'm referring to when I quit my job to start my own business. I didn't know what I was doing. I was super stressed out. I was broke. I was trying to figure out running, a business with 7 employees and, hundreds of clients. I didn't know what was going on. I was a mess. And food was my, relief from all of that. But I didn't want it to be. In a way, I wanted it to be because I was like, it helps in that moment. But on the flip side of it, I was like, I freaking hate this. I don't want to be snacking all night. I don't want to be thinking about food. I don't want to be 30 pounds overweight. I want to just be free from all of this. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. And diets didn't help. I could diet all day long, but, that nighttime, which was the challenging time for me, it's kind of different for everybody. But that was my time. Bunch of ducks just swam by me. And I was like, if I ever figure this out, if I ever figure out how to not crave junk food and have it to the point where it derails my weight loss, but still be able to enjoy it occasionally, but be in control. If I figure that out, I'm going to tell everybody. And I did figure it out. So that's the space I'm in now. And here we go. This is why I usually have notes, because where was that train of thought going? Where did it start? So cravings are why I got into the program that I run now, which is really focused on losing weight without dieting. Like, I'm not teaching you, just cut out, just tell yourself you can't have junk food and that'll fix everything, because that doesn't work. I did that. Everyone's tried that. It doesn't work. So this is where I was going. I saw that post about the cravings, and I've worked with a bunch of people who have done Ozempic, semaglutide, and the other one with the M. And it works for however long you're on it. I've had people who've, lost 50 pounds, and they're like, this is great. I'm done. They go off of it, and all the weight comes back. And they realize, oh, that just temporarily got my brain to a place where I wasn't thinking about food, but I didn't really develop any tools to not want to eat junk food. Nothing really changed in my brain. I didn't really grow in any way there. It just was a temporary, I don't crave it. And here I am off of it, and my brain just goes right back to where it was before I was on it, and all the weight comes back. And then I've also worked with people who are currently on it, and I don't have any problem with that. People come to me and say, I'm on it right now. And I'm like, that's fine. And I actually just started working with a guy, and he's like, it's helping so much because my cravings were really intense. And that was where, I was struggling, and I would try so hard to not give in. I would say I'm, for example, he didn't say this, but for example, I would say I'm not having, sugar this month. And I would push and push and push to not have sugar that month. And then, day 30 of the month, it was like everything broke loose. I would eat all the sugar, and then I couldn't stop. And I would be beating myself up, and I'd get into this cycle where I would just be like, eating sugar for 3 months, unstoppably, like out of control. And that's what my experience has been with, weight loss plans across the board, whether they've done Ozempic or not. It's like, that's how we try to lose weight, is we tell ourselves, okay, I'm just not going to, the thing that I'm struggling with, the food that I'm specifically struggling with, I'm just going to tell myself I can't eat it. And so we push and push and push to not eat it. And then it's like, as soon as that time is up or something happens, there's a special event or party or something, we get super stressed out, whatever it is, we just go crazy and we eat all of it. And now it's like, we're beating ourselves up. We're so mad at ourselves for doing that. We don't know what's wrong with us. Why would I do that when I'm trying to lose weight? What's wrong with me? And then we're in this cycle of just eating, gaining all the weight back. So this client, he's on it right now, and he's like, it's helping so much with the cravings. So that's not really an issue for me. And I was like, but it is an issue for you. I was like, just because the Ozempic is preventing you from experiencing it right now doesn't mean that's not going to come back as soon as you're off of Ozempic. Like, you don't want to be on this forever, right? He's like, no, I definitely want to, wean off of it. I was like, okay, so this is going to be a big focus of our work together, is we can do that. We can work on it while you're on Ozempic. That's fine. But we need to teach your brain how to manage itself in the face of really tempting food. And ultimately, I want you to feel super confident that if your brain does say, just go eat, a whole plate of cookies, it's no big deal, it's going to fix everything, it's going to be amazing, just do it, that you're like, how to handle that. You know how to handle that confidently. This isn't a big deal. I know what I'm doing. I don't have to eat those cookies. All of those things. Getting your brain to that place. That's our goal. And he agreed 100%. So this is my point of this whole saga. When we use bandaid fixes to deal with things that we think are impossible to fix or deal with on our own, we're like delegating this to be outside of us, which is basically what diets are. When we diet, we're saying, I am so out of control. I need you to tell me what to eat so that I can be in control. You need to be in control of me because I can't do it. That's essentially what we're doing. If you like boil it down. I can't be in control. You have to tell me. You have to be in control of me because I'm like not capable of doing it. And we're doing that with Ozempic now. We've got, a really powerful fix for that, Band-Aid for that really cuts through cravings. It makes it really easy on us. We don't have to do anything other than pay the money. And when we have something like that, we forget we have the most powerful tool on the planet. It's called our brain. You have one. When someone steps in and teaches you how to harness that and use it to your advantage and train it that food is not the answer, we can manage stress without food. We can have an intense craving and get through it and not eat. And then we can quietly, consciously make the decision to enjoy a cookie and be like, yeah, hell yeah, that was so good. But I don't want to eat 10. I want 1. That's amazing. 10 makes me sick. 2, Like, that's where you want to be. And you can do that. You just need the right teacher, the right tools, the right steps to do that. It is 100% possible. I've seen it done over and over and over again. And it's really not that difficult. It takes practice. It's like learning a sport. I tell all my clients that over and over and over again. They're like, I tried it once. It was really hard. I didn't do it right. I failed. I'm like, did you, the first time, most everybody I work with has either played a sport or an instrument, or they have a career. So they've done something where they had to practice a lot and they sucked at first. I'm like, the first time you stepped out on a tennis court, did you know how to hold a racket? Did you know how to swing your arm? Did you know how to step your feet and move your body and hit the ball perfectly in the center of your strings and get it over the net and make a winning shot? No, you didn't. You had to practice. You would have somebody standing there next to you saying, okay, this is what didn't work about that. This is what I need you to practice differently. And then you practiced and you practiced and you practiced. And you probably did it wrong a lot. And that was okay. You knew that was just part of the process. This is all part of the process. And I tell that to everybody. And I'm telling that to you out there who might not have a process or a coach or anything. But to know that the reason you are where you are is because you're trying to learn to play tennis on your own. There's no YouTube videos. There's no coach. There's no ball machine. You're just out there with a racket and a tennis ball on a court. You don't even know what the lines mean. Tossing that ball up, trying to figure out how to do it. And you're failing miserably because you have absolutely no guidance. And so you're saying, you know what? Instead of this, I'm just going to go get a bandaid fix. I'm going to go pay for Ozempic because that will fix all of this for me. And the truth of it is, as soon as the Ozempic's gone, you're back out there on the court all by yourself with no guidance, completely alone, wondering what's wrong with you, why you aren't a pro all-star tennis. I said that backwards. Why you're not a tennis pro, professional tennis player. Just because that's not working doesn't mean that it can't work, that there aren't tools out there that can help you deal with what you're going through and get you to a place where you can confidently be around all the foods or in the most challenging situation for you, whatever that looks like for you, and be like, I don't even want the food right now. I don't want it. It doesn't get me where I want to go. And that is totally possible. So that was my long-winded point, is that instead, I'm not saying that you don't do Ozempic, but know that that's temporary and it doesn't fix anything long-term. To fix it long-term, go inwards, work on your brain, and no food company can bypass you having a brain that doesn't want to overeat food or use food to deal with emotions or check out or feel better. No food company can bypass that. You are in 100% control all the time. And that comes from having a strong brain that knows the tools, that's practiced these things over and over and over again and gotten really, really good at them. Okay? So that's my bite for this walk.